Success Insight shares the stories of the people with passion and drive who make things happen in the world. Here's your host, Howard Fox.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Success Insight podcast. Today is Mindset Monday, and with Mindset Monday, we have as our special guest, Andrée Martin, your leadership mindset and golf performance coach. Andrée is an LPGA Class A Life member, a nationally recognized top 50 golf teacher and expert, and a member of the Maine Golf Hall of Fame, recognizing golf's value as a business tool. In today's competitive marketplace, Andrée works with individuals, groups, corporate and organizational clients to create educational and team-building programs that enhance the professional success of aspiring executives. Andrée, welcome to the Success Insight podcast.
Thanks, Howard. As always, it's great to be here.
Fantastic. So today's Mindset Monday, what are we going to be talking about today?
Today's topic is Sportsmanship Begets Success.
Fantastic.
So I thought we'd start out by talking about the true meaning of competition, because right now, as things are boiling up out there with this whole COVID pandemic, I know a lot of competition will be amping and revving up. And I'd like to bring a reminder to everybody out there how the true meaning of competition, the Latin definition of competition, is to seek together. You wouldn't think of that normally in competition, would we?
No.
To know your opponent is to gain the advantage for potential victory. Yes. But the partnership piece and seeking together is that you want to offer each other the best you have, so you keep elevating and each one of you keep moving yourself to the top better and better and better. It takes me to, there was an Olympic race where the Olympians looking over to the opponent, so-called opponent, right? But it's really competitor, and goes, I hope you have a great race. And the competitor looks over, quite surprised at why he would say that. This gold medalist turns around and says, the better you run, the better I will too.
It's interesting that metaphor carries into so many sports and opportunities, even with on the business side, because we want to work with people who perhaps have a more experience, more knowledge, more abilities than we do, because they're going to challenge us to raise up our game. And so I love how that extends from the sports into the business.
And right now, there's so many online challenges going on, different ways for all of us to keep our focus and our motivation up. And it takes me to Pete Vargas. He had his huge 10 days where he's bringing in 4 of the top speakers in the world, all coming together to talk. And then you would think, well, why would I want to do that? Well, everybody's sharing. Everybody's talking about what they did to become successful. And you realize, wow, so a lot of these guys and women came from nothing, and they're now something. And they've done extremely well. You've got a lot of athletes. I go back to Wilma Rudolph. I shared that a few podcasts ago. I was told she'd never walk, let alone run and win all those gold medals, right? And it's just so inspiring. And to know that if my bench, and I think of Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, their whole relationship, you've got Arnie Palmer and Jack Nicklaus, they've nudged each other through their careers and really pushed one another all the way through to better and better success, and each one amping up and moving their ladder up a stronger wall.
I'm curious, Andrée, I get this point that you are making in the example, and it makes good sense. How do you think an individual gets that moment of insight that I need to have this person around me? I need to watch what they're doing. I need to learn from their actions, what they say, what they do, how they train, whatever. What do you think is the light bulb going off, that insight that makes them realize, if I'm truly going to be a world-class, whether it's an athlete or a leader in an organization, what do you think that moment of insight is?
The moment of insight is building. I look and think about exercise programs, just for your general listener. You've got a chance, if you've got all the equipment in your house, to really build and work out every single day. And how many of you are really going through that workout and getting up at a specific time of day and really working that plan and doing all the workout? But yet, if you've got a trainer there on you, you're going to do it. I'm just as guilty as it's getting me back into it. It's like, holy cow. There's a time where I was having some come to my house 3 days a week. She busted my butt. She kept notching me up and I wanted to keep getting better. It's like, no, I want to do better than that today. And my body may not have been cooperating, but that's how you do it. You got to keep pushing through and pushing through. Same thing, let's level it up out. Your competition is going to be doing the same thing. Well, how are you going to notch it up and notch it up? If you think about it that way, you are seeking together because you're wanting to level up each time. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, I like it.
Out in each other by anticipating even what the competition is going to come forward with. You're anticipating, okay, if they do this, what do I need to do to get ahead? And that's what we do in business. That's what we need to do in business.
Given that today is our episode of Mindset Monday and sportsmanship, can you go deeper on the meaning of sportsmanship?
I go back to right now, what comes to mind is Tiger Woods. He's had bad back knees, had relationships. Some guys would go the other way and just say, oh, I'm all washed up, I'm a mess, and forget it, I don't have a chance. This guy's taking no. He's not settling for silver. He totally went for the gold. And nobody expected him to win the Masters last year. And how did he do it? I mean, he's gone through, and why? A lot of people have sat there and asked, why has he gone through so many coaches? Why didn't he just stick with Butch Harmon to begin with? And there's two different thought processes on that alone, right? And we discussed that. You stick with one coach because they've worked really well with you and they know your game, and they're not going to try something that didn't work for you because they've known you over all this time. Sure, when you go to a different coach, that's the chance you take. And that may have been part of it, or maybe it was overtraining, way overtraining on his part that blew his back out. There's a lot of hearsay on what created that. Only he knows the truth.
Everybody's an expert, and the only person who knows is the man or the woman going through the issue.
Yep, exactly. And what I do know as a coach is that you do the very best you can for that athlete. And the very best athletes know how to train. And not only know how to train, when they're not feeling good, they do it anyway. When it's a crappy day outside, they love to train anyway. When you're having that blow-up hole thrown at you, you're going to bore through it and figure out how to save par despite yourself, or save that bogey, heaven forbid, right? And in a business sense, that's what we're doing right now. Why give up when you can keep going and really, really make lemonade? And sportsmanship begetting success. Why do teams, before they go out on any field, whether it's basketball, football, you got the coin toss. And what's the thing they do before they play? You're shaking hands. What do you do when you finish? You're shaking hands. And the best teams, the true winners, are the ones that really give compliments to their competitors at how great a game they played, so that they could really see how good they were.
It's interesting as you're kind of laying out this definition of sportsmanship. And again, we are in this age of the COVID-19 crisis. And I'm thinking about the companies that have stepped up, competitors perhaps, who are, perhaps looking to get the drug, the vaccine that is needed to halt or cure what is going on here. But as all of these organizations are in their labs doing their non-clinical and clinical work and preparing for trials, they are actively sharing data about their trials across to other organizations who may in fact be, in any given Monday, a competitor, but the need is so great that I can't risk holding back whatever knowledge I have to flatter my own self, my own organization, but I need to share it because somebody else may have that aha moment, that moment of insight. And I think this is this crisis that we're in. I mean, and there are elements of absolute dismal leadership. There's just no doubt about it. But I think there's been some instances of wonderful success, and that's corporations, businesses throughout the globe who are stepping up to do things that maybe it's not their bread and butter work, but it's doing their part to help solve a problem. I saw something on, probably it was NPR Today, or maybe it was a Facebook or a Twitter post. One of the clothing manufacturers, I forget exactly who it was. Part of me wants to say it was the guy that rides the little polo pony, is now making, I could be wrong, I could be right too, but they're basically producing masks.
There was the uniform company. I think it was back in Philly, right? They were making umpire uniforms with the stripes, and they've shifted gears and they're now making masks. How cool is that? Yeah.
So everybody is showing the sportsmanship to step up and be there to help solve a problem.
And it'd be very easy. It's very easy for all of us to slip into the worry, right? To slip into the woe is me. But why all along with children are we always saying it takes a village, right? It does take a village. And so when everybody comes together for that cause and lifts up and saves one, you've made huge progress. And that's exactly what we're doing on a much, much bigger scale, with all the frontline people looking for the antidote. And circling back to sports and mindset, how are we doing this? We're not saying, oh, we're screwed. We're saying, oh, darn it, we're going to find an answer to this. We're going to get a cure for this. We're going to create a vaccine so this doesn't happen again. And everybody's staying home so that the frontline people can do their jobs and save lives. That's true sportsmanship, ensuring success.
Fantastic. Andrée, thank you so much for joining us again on the Success Insight podcast and chatting about sportsmanship begets success. If our listeners would like to learn more about you and your work, where are the best places for them to go?
Sure, you can go to andreegolf.com. It's Andrée with 2 E's, or I have LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. It's Andrée Martin Golf.
Fantastic. And we'll most definitely will provide the links back to your website and social sites on our show notes. Again, thank you so much for participating in Mindset Monday. I love doing this with you and really excited for what other topics we are going to talk about in the weeks to come.
Thanks, Howard.
All right, folks, we have just been chatting with your leadership and mindset and golf performance coach, Andrée Martin, for this week's edition of Mindset Monday, Sportsmanship Begets Success. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please let us know. You can do that on our website, successinsightpodcast.com. There is a comment link right below the podcast. You can also like and comment on our Facebook page, successinsightpodcast.com, LinkedIn, successinsightpodcast.com. We have a YouTube channel, and we are also on the podcast platforms, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. We really want to hear your thoughts about our episodes and the work we're doing here. Again, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there, have a very safe but phenomenal day, and we will see you on the next episode of the Success Insight Podcast. Take care now.
Success Insight is a production of Fox Coaching and First Story Strategies. Find us online, successinsightpodcast.com.